Abi Minter, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really well. Thank you for joining me. I see your Great Britain hoodie you got on there. That's a
Yeah.
nice touch. Nice touch. So, ice hockey. How and when did that come about?
Well, I think I was probably about 4 or 5, and we were just at free skate down in Swindon, and they gave us a leaflet for learn to play,
Yeah.
and my brother wanted to do it, and then I just kind of copied anything my brother did, so I got in as well. I've just been doing it ever since.
Is your brother Jacob Minter then?
Yes.
We've just seen him this weekend down in
Yeah.
Chelmsford.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
thought that might be the case. I've got that written down actually. Was it siblings or parents kind of like getting you into it? And then I thought, oh, I wonder if that's her brother.
It was Jacob.
Excellent. Yeah, he didn't fare too well Saturday night, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you had a weekend off, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Not very often that happens.
Is it not? What do you do with yourself with a weekend off?
Catch up on sleep and just catch up on a lot of homework. That's what I spent my weekend doing.
Yeah, I suppose it's got to be quite tough, isn't it, to do? I mean, it's tough enough for some of these guys that are playing in the NIHL and up and down, doing a
Yeah,
full-time job and doing hockey, but when you're doing school as well.
yeah, yes, definitely.
So that's obviously having weekends off like that. I know with the Chelmsford Pythons and the Rattlesnakes and the under-16s and the Cobras, that the games aren't actually that regular. Is it tough for you to get competitive hockey?
Well, I'm quite lucky in the fact that I play in the Elite League and in WNHL one, so I have two teams going, and I also play boys hockey.
Oh, you
So
do? Oh, good.
yeah, so I have quite a lot of games really, but I think if you're just playing for one team, it can be quite tough.
Yeah. So you're playing for Swindon and Guildford, isn't it?
I play for Swindon and Guildford Women's, yeah, and then Slough under 18 boys.
Oh, really? How do you find that?
I love it. I love playing boys hockey. I like the physicality of it.
Yeah. Do you find that they are a bit sort of standoffish with you, or they want to get involved with the physical side?
Oh, no, I think sometimes I found teams won't hit me as much, but I don't like it when they do that. I just want to be, just like everyone else and just playing hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see it in the Chelmsford League in the NAHL 1 South. Ellie Wakelin plays for the Raiders Juniors. I think you probably
Yeah.
there at GB. And she did get boarded, but it didn't look too harsh. It was just like
Mhm.
a nudge.
Yeah.
And our player ended up with a 5-minute penalty for it. And I thought, oh, is that because she's a girl?
Yeah. It's hard to know, really. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think that's terrific. I've said before when I've had the coach of the Chelmsford women's side on, the fact that boys and girls, men and women can play this sport together is brilliant.
Yeah.
Unlike any other sport, really, in that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably aside from tennis, but that's not a contact sport.
Yeah.
So playing obviously up in the Elite League and in the National League and the stuff that you've probably done through your youth career, you've probably played at pretty much every barn in the country.
Most, yeah. A
Have
lot
you
of.
got a particular favourite?
My favourite is definitely Nottingham. I like Nottingham.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, probably Nottingham's probably best, yeah.
And what about the other end of the spectrum? Is there a worse one?
The worst one is definitely Solent.
Yeah.
Or Whitley Bay, just because of the journey. We had to
Yeah.
leave at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my days! It's a long way up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough day.
What about international leagues? Obviously, playing with GB, you must have done a fair bit of travelling. Is there anywhere massively interesting that you've been?
Well, last July I went to Finland and did like the IHF high performance camp. So it's like there was 3 girls from Britain that got selected. So I got to go over to Finland and do like an ice hockey camp with like all the best players from each country, which was cool. And they had some nice rinks there, but they were very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what sort of time of year was it? Were you getting the sort of like 20 hours of darkness or the?
Oh yeah, it never went dark. Like
Oh, you were
it was
getting the other end of it.
it was when it was like it would get to about like when it was about sunset, and then it the sun just wouldn't go down. Like I would wake up at like 3 a.m. thinking, oh, it's morning, and then I'd look at my phone and realize it was not morning.
That's unbelievable. So travel-wise, with the Great Britain team, speaking with Sam earlier, and he said that, you know, players that he's got over in his coaching program in America, if
Mm.
they get selected for GB, they have to pay their own way to get
Yeah,
from Canada back to GB. Obviously, you being based here,
yeah.
that's not so much of an issue for it. But do they sort something with the travel? If you want to bring family, is it sort of reduced price or anything like that?
I think for the World Championships up in Scotland, there was some sort of a deal for parents at a hotel that they had, but I'm not really sure because we had to make our own way up to Scotland as well. So me and my friend got the train together up to
Mm.
Dumfries. But yeah, they didn't really, you get everything for free obviously at the whole tournament. But yeah, there wasn't really much for parents or anything.
No. But so when you travelled to Finland, did you have to sort that travel yourself, or did GB sort that?
No, that was all sorted. They paid for everything, so that was good.
Lovely. And when you all travel together,
Yeah.
what's sort of the camaraderie like amongst your group? Is it a good group?
Yeah, it is. Our team is very like, we've got some good vibes, we've got lots of good people. It's always fun. Like when we went over to Poland, you know, like getting that waiting for the flight and stuff like that, going around the airport was lots of fun.
Yeah. But always making sure you're behaving yourselves, of course.
Of course, we're always representing.
And you've also been lucky enough to get yourself a sponsor
Yeah.
in Carl Catling Media, who's also sponsoring this episode that you're on.
Yes.
So what does Carl do, and how has Carl helped you in your career?
Well, he's helping me by like providing stuff like kit, and like he got me a new stick, which has helped me a lot. And it's just because obviously there's not as much support for women in the game, and you know we still have to pay a lot of money for stuff. So he's helped me on that side, not have to worry about, you know, the economic side of the sport. And he's also just helps me like supporting, and you know he's coming to watch my game on Sunday, so it just adds that bit of support.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. And I think it's probably what the sport needs at most levels, isn't it? Is that
Definitely.
even as a team sport, to get guys having individual sponsorships,
Yeah.
it can only help in the long run. I mean, so obviously you're 16 now. So are you done with high school? Are you college over here?
I'm in sixth form over here doing A levels in a minute.
And do you have aspirations to perhaps go stateside or into Europe to study and play hockey?
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe for university, hopefully somewhere abroad, maybe Europe, maybe America. Depends on how my studies go, how hockey's going for me.
Yeah. No, because I know I spoke to Sham Jackson
Yeah.
recently, who's out at the OHA
Mm.
and sort of trying to get into that NCAA hockey setup over there, because is that really where the women want to play?
That's where you want to be at the end of the day. It's where every girl I know wants to be, really. If you want to reach the highest levels, you need to be playing over there.
Yeah. Is it just ice hockey for you then? Is there any other sports that you enjoy and partake in?
I used to play rugby for a long time, and then I had to quit, unfortunately, because hockey was taking up a bit too much time. I had to pick between the two eventually. I didn't want to, but you know, I decided to pick ice hockey over rugby.
You really do like a rough and tumble, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's just how I've been raised with an older brother. You know, it's just I just kind of did the sports that he did, and then I always enjoyed them. So,
have you guys ever played together?
no, we actually haven't. Now that he plays for Slough Jets, we've trained together a few times.
Yeah.
But we've never played on a team together. Always just missed out on the ages.
What would you say if the two of you went head to head? Who'd get the better of that?
I'd like to say me, but probably not.
No. Or in maybe like a skill off, like an all-star skills show.
Well, yeah, he's a defender, so he's not got as many skills as me.
So you can certainly show him up where that's concerned.
Yeah, I could try.
So of all the places you played sort of over here, have you got a particular game or anything that sticks in your mind as something that's always there as a boost for you?
I would definitely say the women's playoffs last season were some good games. I think the playoff final it was Division 1 last season. We had to win the game to get promoted, which is what we really wanted.
Yeah.
And we won the game. It was just definitely a game that kind of sticks in my head.
Lovely. And what's the best game you've had personally goal scoring? Because I know you're a forward player.
Goal scoring, under 16 goals last season against ISBs, I got 4 goals. So that one probably.
Lovely. Any apples there as well, or just the goals?
I think it was just goals, but
Goals.
yeah.
I know we did recently. That a lot of people tweeted out on social media. Chelmsford Chieftains won 14-1 at Milton Keynes Thunder. We've got 2 identical twin brothers on our team, and between the 2 of them, they scored 18 points in one game, which we've searched everywhere. We don't think that's been done before by sibling.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty good.
that would be incredible. So if you and Jacob get on the same team,
Yeah.
there's a target for you there. Obviously, with Jacob being a defenseman, that'll make that.
Yeah.
So, when was the last time you played at the Riverside in Chelmsford?
I played against Chelmsford under-16 girls last season. That was the last time. I think I go there again this season for boys because we've played against Chelmsford home, but we haven't played them away yet.
Haven't played them away. Now, how's the sort of the turnout in youth hockey? Does it get relatively big crowds, or is it just a few parents?
It's normally just parents, sometimes people's friends, but like we do get some of the younger teams. Like when we have home games, some of the like under 10s and under 12s will come and watch, which is quite nice.
Yeah. Does the GB under 18s, when you play at home, do you get a fairly big crowd?
For World Championships, we did get quite a decent crowd, to be honest. Yeah, there was a good atmosphere, definitely.
Yeah. And does that act as a boost for you? It doesn't sort of create the nervous energy?
It gets you nervous when you're like, when you're at the start, everyone's standing on the blue line and you look around and you see all these people watching, all these important people, and it does get you a little bit, but you just have to focus on the game and not really think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly like mentally the first step, isn't it, to get over?
Yeah.
Once you start sort of stepping up levels and you're playing at international levels. Have you done any hockey with England as well? Because I know they're trying to push that setup, aren't they?
Yeah, there isn't any England for my age group now, but I did play for England under 13s. We went away to Belgium in, I think it was 2019.
Yeah.
That was a good experience, definitely.
So, and is your birth year then? So is that the 2000? I'm doing my maths in my head here. 2007.
2006.
2006. So is your birth year a particularly good year? Because I know sort of hockey's kind of done in that.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like a lot of good players in my
age? Yeah, there are a lot of good players in your age group.
Definitely. For girls, 2006, our age group's got lots of good players in it, definitely.
And obviously we spoke earlier about perhaps college abroad and whatnot, but is the Olympics your massive sort of glowing thing there to achieve?
I think so, yeah. I think if I could go to the Olympics, that would be amazing.
Yeah, and I do think it's great. It's going to be great to see Great Britain there at some point. I think that the men have got a great chance.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be the women that are going to get there first.
I hope so.
If anything, because the progression is just incredible with the women. But and I discussed with Sam and also with Nikki Watt last week that's when I think, because the funding does need improving for the sport. It's probably a top 10 sport in Britain. It's certainly not a top 5, but it's probably a top 10. But if it was to get that, it's kind of like they've got to spend money to make money. They've got to give it that funding, get you guys to the Olympics.
Yeah. And
the eyes will be on it. Because, I mean, obviously, you're probably a bit young for Mighty Ducks, but that was, like, when that came out, obviously, I would know you've watched it. I don't think anyone can play the sport and not watch that film.
Yeah.
But when that came out in the 90s, the sort of that globalised the game. Kids from all over the world were just like, I want to play ice hockey. And, I don't think we're going to get anything like that again. So it's going to have to be you young ladies and our young men going to the Olympics, putting a show on for the next generation to say, I want to play ice hockey. And then they've got to be helped and progressed. So, I mean, playing for the teams that you play for, do you find the struggle for ice time, or have you got good slots for your teams?
I mean, definitely Slough's got good ice times. I would say the only thing of women's is a lot of the times the training is quite late because we get not as priority. So Guildford training is quite late, which but you've got to do what you've got to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is the struggle. And I was discussing with Vicky Feidler, who's the team manager of the Chelmsford Cobras, that if there were more facilities, it would absolutely grow. But again, it's just a funding question, isn't it, of getting these facilities out there?
Yeah, definitely.
Abi, well, thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed getting to know you and talking about your career. It's something I'm gonna watch with intent now of how you get on, and looking forward to you ladies hopefully going to the Olympics.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you for having me.
You are more than welcome. So Abi Minter, if you want to follow her, Carl Catling Media, her sponsor as well, is also there for a follow. Thanks for joining me, Abi.
Thank you.